Kelsey Ballerini. Give it up! Brr, 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 brr. Oh, I'm in love with her wallpaper. I must know where you got it. Okay, last year I met two incredible men who are African-American teachers. They were on different shows actually, but shared the same motivation for becoming educators. They both spoke about just how underrepresented black male teachers are in this country. In fact, only 2% of teachers here in the U.S. are men of color. That's a crazy statistic. That means too many little boys are lacking educators who look like them. My next guest is working to change things through a program that recruits black men for the classroom. He's what we call a rad human. All right, everybody, let's welcome the founder of Man Up Teachers, Dr. Patrick Washington. Give it up for him!
Hey, Kelly, so excited to be on. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited you're here. So first, meet Leslie and meet, well, Kelsey virtually, everybody virtually.
Hello.
Hey, Kelsey. Hey, Leslie. Kelly, hey, I'm excited. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, no, I'm excited too. I'm a fan equally of both of these artists as well, so I get it. But Patrick, why do you think there are so few black men who are teachers? What do you think the reason is?
So there are a number of factors. First, low pay, and let's be honest, we need to do something about teacher pay in this country as a whole.
Amen. My mom was a teacher. Yep.
Absolutely. So low pay, low status. Teaching, the career itself is not highly esteemed among men, particularly men of color. And then third, there's this perception that teaching is a job for women. And so, but the research is clear, particularly for black students who are in low income situations. If they have a black teacher in elementary school, then it significantly increases their likelihood to finish high school and to go on to graduate from college.
Yeah.
So Man Up is working to change that.
I love it. Leslie, did you have teachers who look like you growing up?
Wow, I love what you're doing, brother. He's so right. I could count on less than two hands how many I had throughout my whole, schooling here in the States. But a fifth grade teacher, my fifth grade teacher, Mrs. Frances Turner, changed everything around you. Yeah, black woman. She dressed more like a college professor, like my brother here today, than an elementary school social studies teacher. But the men was male teachers. I had 3-4 black male teachers my whole 12 years of school. Yeah.
Yeah, I only had one. Like that's what I was thinking. I was thinking last night. I was like, I only remember Mrs. Brown. That's all. I didn't have anybody else, and I thought that was crazy. And I didn't have any males, so that 2% statistic is crazy to me. So Patrick, before founding Man Up, you were an educator, right? Yourself.
Yeah, so education has been very important in my family for many generations. I grew up knowing about my great-great-grandfather, Richard Atkins, who was born in 1860. He learned to read and he became proficient at math, basic arithmetic. And the story is that he taught others to read and do math. And so hearing that story and that picture I keep it in my phone, he became a real inspiration for me to teach. And my mother was also a teacher.
I hear you that you got quite a bit of support though, right? Like making your way up the educational ranks, right?
Yes, I graduated at 21, fresh out of college. I got a job as a fourth grade teacher at one of the largest elementary schools in Memphis. It's about 1,200 students. My first class, I had 18 boys. The principal, and they decided, hey, these young boys, they need a male in their life. They need a male teacher. And the idea or the assumption was, with you being a black male, you can relate to those boys, and with hopefully encourage them to make better decisions. I was given a mentor, Miss Williams. Miss Williams and both Miss Henshaw for my senior year in college. They helped me understand how to deliver the content, how to teach reading, how to teach math, how to meet students where they were in order to get them where they needed to be. And so once I learned how to teach, how to create lessons to engage students, I was more impactful. And it was a major part of my inspiration to start Man Up.
Can you tell everybody what Man Up actually does?
Yeah, so we actually recruit more black men to teach in pre-K through 12th grade classrooms. We recruit men who are already working in a school. Perhaps they're working as a teacher assistant, or they may be a first-year teacher. But Man Up provides that additional coaching and support that will help accelerate their growth so they can become a better teacher faster, right? We need them to be great sooner. We need them to, know the skill and know how to teach the kids in the classroom. We also recruit men who may be working in a different career, but they are passionate about becoming a teacher. They may currently be a police officer or an engineer, but they want to teach. And if they bring that passion, that heart, to us, we can help them learn how to teach. And there's a financial incentive. So once we identify these individuals, we pay for them to get a master's degree or the certification they need to teach. And so once they get that, and on average, it costs us about $20,000 per participant. They never see a tuition or a bill for tuition. We remove that financial pressure to become a teacher. And then we help place them in schools and provide the coaching and support they need to be great teachers.
So Man Up is all about encouraging Black men to become educators. Patrick, how is recruitment going right now?
Recruitment is going very well because for at least two reasons. First of all, because of COVID-19 pandemic, a lot of Black men lost their jobs, and so they're looking at teaching as a career option. And then secondly, there are many cities that have a teacher shortage. So we need teachers, and Memphis being one of those cities. We started out with the goal of recruiting and placing an additional 100 men by 2023. Since 2018, we've already recruited and placed 54 men in classrooms, and we're on our way to exceeding that goal of 100 men, which was our initial goal, 100 men by 2023. We're on track to exceeding that goal. We're hoping to expand and change that statistic, because we know that we can actually get this work done and change the landscape of public education.
Exactly. Well, we actually have one of Patrick's recruits on the line. He says his life was impacted by Man Up teachers. Let's welcome Ernest, everybody. Give it up for Ernest!
Hey, everybody. How you doing? Hey, Kelly. Hey, Dr. Washington.
I am so excited you're with us, Ernest. I'm so happy you're here. And you say growing up that you could have benefited from having educators who look like you, right?
Absolutely. Just to be honest about some things. Growing up, I transitioned a lot in life, from transferring from school to school, not always creating the best record, for myself. And throughout those years and throughout those transitions, there wasn't really anybody that looked like me that was able to pour into me. I was, however, fortunate enough to come across two female Black teachers, one when I was in high school and one when I was pursuing my bachelor's degree, but never had that male that took the time to ask questions and try to pour into my life and uplift me like we really can.
Yeah, and you need that, especially as a young man.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ernest, you say that you've seen the impact having a Black man as a teacher can have on students, right? How have you seen that?
First off, I've seen it because without representation and transparency, you really can't see where you can go or who you can be. As a Black man in the classroom, students need to be able to see themselves in you, no matter what you do. If students can see them in you and they can see the things that they've gone through, and you can represent where they can go, you can change their lives, you change their minds, and so that representation and being a part of that is crucial.
And I think that you're absolutely right with that. And Ernest, you'd like to say something to Patrick, right?
I would. Dr. Patrick, man, I would definitely like to tell you, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for believing in me and becoming an investor into my career. What Man Up offers me is something that I have been looking for. It's funny that the timing just became perfect, right? Man, I believe in you. I believe in Man Up, what you're offering. I told you this in private. You are creating a pipeline, sir, and I benefit from it. And I believe that others like myself and like us will benefit, and this thing will live beyond you. Thank you for the investment. And I'm excited to continue and go further.
It's Beautiful thing you're doing, Dr. Washington. I just have to say, I definitely had teachers that impacted me, and I had, fortunately, somebody that did look like me and a light at the end of the tunnel of like maybe what I could accomplish, and people that did support me. Did you have that, Kelsey, growing up?
Yeah, my choral director, her name was Becky Thomas, and she was the one who kind of, was the teacher that went out of her way. It was never a 9 to 5. It was something where she became that mentor to a lot of her students and went the extra mile for us to make us feel comfortable. And as a young woman in school, it was nice to see another woman doing something that I wanted to do. And so, yeah, I mean, we're lucky to have that experience. And I think what you guys are doing is so incredible. I'm so inspired.
Yeah, it's impressive. Well, we want to help Man Up keep growing and encourage men of color to be teachers. So we've reached out to our friends at Big Lots who carry everything from home essentials to food, decor, and even furniture, all at an exceptional value, mind you. And they are proud. They are so proud to support teachers, and we're incredibly inspired by all the amazing work that you've done, Dr. Washington, with Man Up. So they're going to donate $10,000 to continue your mission. And wait, that's not all. That's not all, because I didn't actually tell my producers this, but I'm so moved by your story, and I love educators. My mama was one, and I think what you're doing is so impressive. So I'm going to match that. I'm going to give you 10 grand as well, and I'm going to match what you're doing. And I think I remembered you saying at the beginning, it's like 20,000, to fully get someone through this. So let's get at least one through there, and let's spread the word. And, if anybody can throw your support, whether it be financially or physically, if there's teachers out there that can help you as well. This is a beautiful thing that you're doing, and we're very proud to have you on the show. And we're very proud of you, Ernest. That's so cool how you just kind of changed your path. And even if it's just that one kid, it's going to be many more than that, just that one kid. But just that one story, it's enough, just being able to change that one young man's life. It's super cool.